What is going on, everyone? My name is Sebastian Lonis, and today I'll be going over my comic book collection. As you can see, I have a ton of comic books. So specifically, I'm just going to be going over this wall behind me. Basically, I'm going to be explaining kind of why I collect comic books, how comic books have kind of shaped my life, and why you should collect comic books. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So this is the comic book wall behind me. It's the biggest wall, as you've probably seen in that video that I showed. It's huge. So I'm just gonna go over this kind of section right here. But yeah, comic books are amazing. I love comic books. I've been collecting comic books for a very long time. The first time I got a comic book was, I think, when my dad first deployed to, I think it was Iraq, and he came back and just gave me a whole box full of comic books, and it was awesome. It really was. It kind of started my collecting as a kid, and it was just awesome. My dad, as a kid, he collected comic books, so over the years, me and my brother have kind of carried on that tradition. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, I collect comic books kind of for a couple main reasons. I love the art. The art styles are just so cool. I'm a graphic designer, so I love to have art. I love to be like surrounded by art. It just inspires me all the time to just help me create stuff and kind of just make awesome work. I also collect because of the stories. The stories are so good, man. It's crazy because just how well put together these stories are and how they kind of shape into reality, and it's just awesome. I love the characters, I love the teams, I love the messages that the comic books have. It's really cool. But yeah, so I also like the messages in comic books. I think a lot of people like, oh, there's just dumb comic books, but no, there's actually a lot of more stuff to comic books. Specifically the X-Men, as you can see, from kind of like this line all the way up to my left, or on the right. But yeah, so the X-Men, they're one of my favorite teams. If not my favorite team in comic books, and they're a group of mutants. And mutants are they're humans with an X gene mutation in the human genome that allows them to have powers. And so it's pretty cool. They're a team that kind of fights. It fights for equality. A lot of people don't understand this, but yeah, they fight for equality. There's a lot of hate and discrimination with mutants because people who don't have the X genes don't like them because they have the X gene. They have something they don't have, and they kind of outlaw them. They kind of hunt them down. They kind of like beat them down constantly, and then the X-Men come in and then they fight for everyone. They try to bring peace and harmony to the world, and it's awesome. There's awesome stories. The X-Men have been around since the 1960s, and it's one of my favorite teams. Yeah, I love the team so much. Even my favorite characters was a part of the X-Men at one time. But yeah, so I also have so everything over here is actually something called Contest of Champions, and Contest of Champions is actually a mobile video game. Yeah, didn't expect me to say that, but yeah, it's a mobile video game that's been around since December of 2014. Basically it's like an arcade fighting game that's probably the biggest and probably the best mobile game out there. But if you like arcade fighting games, you'll definitely like that game. And so they had a tie-in comic book series with the main comics, and so I've collected every single issue and almost every single kind of variant cover. And so variant covers are, you have the regular comic book and then you have a variant cover, and variant covers are kind of just to have different art styles to show off an artist's design, or just to kind of have cool tie-ins or references, like having this huge battle scene. You'll see a lot of comic books kind of like reference each other as in the art style. So specifically, this one right here is the same one as the super art style all the way up there. I don't think you guys can see it, but it's in the same style, even though it came out 30 years later. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, Contest Champions has shaped my life too. I've been playing the game for 5 years now, and I stream it to thousands of people on the internet, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, so I've been collecting comics for a very long time, and comic books are my favorite things to collect. I totally have a ton of other stuff, but comic books mean the most to me, and they really do. So yeah, my favorite character in comic books is a character named Legion. This is kind of like his X-Men tie-in comics, but I actually have every single, almost every single Legion appearance. He's my favorite character, and basically Legion his name's David Charles Haller. He's the son of Professor X, who actually created the X-Men, which is awesome. And so he's actually the most powerful mutant Yeah, he is insanely powerful. And like I said before, so they have the X-Men, or even just mutants in general, have a mutation. It allows them to have a power. This mutation gives them their powers. Well, Legion, like I said, he's the most powerful, and the reason why he's the most powerful is because he basically creates, he has I guess you could say it's called spontaneous mutation, but it's kind of tied with his disability, or his dissociative personality disorder. And so it's crazy because his powers is that he creates powers, right? Yeah, he just creates powers, but with his dissociative personality disorder, it ties into his powers. So whenever he creates a power, he creates a personality with that power. So it's super interesting because this is something that's never been done. And yeah, he's my favorite character. He first appeared in 1984 in New Mutants, and I actually have his first appearance on that wall. Those are all of his solo comic book series and first tie-ins. Yeah, he's just an awesome guy who struggles a lot. He really does. He struggles with the world because when he first appeared, he had three terrorists had attacked his house and killed his stepfather and wanted to kill his mother, and he destroyed them. And when he destroyed them, he actually absorbed the leader of the terrorist group, Jamal something. But basically, when he first written, it was kind of like whenever someone died around him, he would absorb their personality into his head, and then they would have a power. And so over the years, he's been struggling with being manipulated by his other personalities, and not really struggling to find peace with himself. And so over the years, recently, they've made him an awesome character that's really close to kind of integrating into society. Even though there's still a lot of hate coming around because of the mutants, it's still good to see that he's still in comic books, and I love him. And so yeah. But yeah, so in the newest appearance, in his latest issues, they've actually explained that he's got over thousands of powers and personalities inside of his head. It is insane. He's a crazy character. He actually had a TV show on the FX channel, just named Legion. It's a super cool TV show that is probably the most wacky TV show in a good way, but it's really cool. But yeah, so this is my comic book collection. I kind of went over why I collect comic books. Like I said, I love the art style. I love the tie-in comics to the video games that I play. I love the stories behind them. There's so much to it. The cool action, who doesn't love that? And especially as a kid, I loved it, and I still do. But yeah, so as you can see, I have a ton of comics. I probably have over 150 comic books, if not more than that. Yeah, not every comic book I have is actually on my wall, but yeah. So I've actually, like I said, I collected comic books as a kid, but it wasn't until recently, in the past 2 years, that I've been going to Comic Cons. They're basically this big events where tons of comic book fans come to a giant area, usually in New York City, San Diego, and yeah, it's awesome. I've been collecting comics for most of my comics are from the past couple of years. I'll probably check eBay, Mercari, or just other auction sites. Excuse me. And so yeah, it's been really cool. I've had a lot of fun reading the stories, and it's actually kind of integrated in what I do. Since I'm a graphic designer, like I said, I do collect them because of the art. And when I do graphic design, I have a lot of Marvel comics influence into my life. And so I try to make a lot of Marvel Comics art, and kind of take these characters that are in the comic books and kind of put them into real life. I try to make these almost 3D models of these characters, and it's really hard. I'm not really too good at it, but I'm getting better, and it kind of ties into this contest game right here, which is all the Marvel characters. So. But yeah, so yeah, you can kind of see my comic book collection. You got to see. You gotta see why I collect comic books and why you should collect comic books. I think you should collect comic books because they have amazing stories, they have amazing artwork, and you can definitely learn something. There's a ton of life lessons, and I'm super excited. This whole series is kind of this Elysian comic is about him facing his fears. So yeah, honestly, you can find comics anywhere. You can find them online. You can find them on auctions. But yeah, so. Definitely, even at your local Walmart, there's a little section where you can find comic books. But yeah, so yeah, thank you guys so much for checking out my collection. I appreciate it, and yeah, hope you guys have a good day. Bye.
is Crisia, and I'm addicted to makeup.
No, you're supposed to say you collect makeup.
Okay. Hello, my name is Crisia, and I collect makeup. Let me introduce you to my makeup collection. So starting off, this is my everyday makeup. Just a simple little bag with a simple little nude palette. Of course, my eyebrows, because you always need to paint on your eyebrows. My many mascaras, and just some eyeliners and like a little lip gloss. It's nothing too crazy, because again, it's just an everyday makeup look. Now, for the days that I want to be more glam, I have my mini foundations. I have all of these. I have some more, but in small sample bottles. Now, I always have a hard time finding a color match, so that's why I have so many of different colors, but I keep them for a very important reason that you will see later, so tune in for that. Here I have some concealers, some color corrector, and my beauty blenders, and a cute little beauty blender holder. This is to put on my foundation and stuff. Then here's my setting powder. It's to make sure that my foundation doesn't melt away throughout the day. Here is some bronzer. I use it as contour sometimes, so that's fun. Here's one of my blushes, very cute pale pink. And this is probably my favorite blush. It is this beautiful bright peach color. Absolutely love it. Here are some fake lashes, again for my glam look days. Like right now, I have my glam makeup and I have some fake lashes. Here are all my lipsticks. Now I don't use lipstick that much, but when I do, that fell. So yeah, those are all my lipsticks. I have more scattered around the house. Here's some like eyeshadow glitter sparkle things. Here are my eyeshadow brushes. As you can tell, I used them today because of that bright pink. These are very nice brushes, very soft, love them with all my heart. These are two of my big palettes. I have this one, James Charles, and this one, the Jaclyn Hill. Very nice big palettes. Now, this is the root of my problem. This is what started my collection in the first place. It's all of these Anastasia Beverly Hill eyeshadow palettes. Now my very first palette ever was the Modern Renaissance palette. It has a special place in my heart, but because of that palette, I now have all of these. So yes, I'm not going to show them all because it's a lot of colors. But now, let's get to why I have so many foundations. I bet you're wondering why I have this huge bag. Well, let me tell you. I do special effects makeup, also known as FX makeup. That's pretty much makeup that makes you look like a monster, creepy, gross stuff, like zombies, you know? In my collection, I have two liquid latex bottles because you go through a lot of latex. There's some blood for blood, you know, blood. I have a glue stick, and that's to glue down my eyebrows, because trust me, you do not want to get liquid latex on your hair or eyebrows. It is very painful to rip off. So I just put on a glue stick over my eyebrows, use some powder so that they're nice and protected. I also have some scar wax to create some scars, and this is where all my foundations come into play. Obviously, once you finish your layer of liquid latex and stuff, you want to make it look as naturally gross as possible. So just put some foundation over it so that you don't look too fake, if that makes sense. Here I have some cotton balls. That's to help enhance the grossness of one's skin. I have some makeup sponges, and that's to apply everything. I have this little color thingy palette. Again, it's just for colors so that you can make your gross skin look natural, but also not natural because you're a zombie, you know. I also have these old makeup palettes that we don't use anymore. And And that's because you don't want to use nice makeup during FX because it will get destroyed or overused. Here I have this box. In this I have some old makeup brushes. Again, you don't want to use nice ones because it will get ruined. So I have some old makeup brushes. I have some black lipstick, some old eyeliners, and some prosthetics like this one. You can't really see, but this is warts, like gross boils. In the other section of this box, I have some more prosthetics, and I also have some scab blood, and some old black eyeliner, and one of my many little sample bottles of foundation. I also have some spirit gum and a bald cap, and that's to attach your bald cap. Also comes with spirit gum remover because you do not want to rip off spirit gum. It hurts a lot. I have an old cutting board my mom gave me, and that's so I could make my prosthetics, and also it's just a nice hard surface to put stuff on without any spillage, because again, you do not want to spill any blood or liquid latex. It gets everywhere, very messy, hard to clean up. I have a towel, an old towel, again, to protect yourself, because you do not want to get this everywhere. It is very messy. Last but not least, I have an old hair dryer that I don't use on my hair anymore. This one has a really cold setting, and so that's good to help dry liquid latex on your face and stuff, because it can take a long time to dry, and I am very impatient. I think everyone should experiment or play with makeup at least once in their life, and there's many reasons why, so I'd like to tell you. Makeup is just really fun. Like, you could have so much fun just doing random stuff to your face. It really is. And with FX makeup, the aftermath is super fun, trust me. Makeup is a form of art that doesn't really require that much skill. It just requires a lot of practice. Like, I can't draw. This is me genuinely trying to draw a unicorn on a rainbow. But I think I'm pretty decent at doing makeup. I just needed a lot of practice. It took me an entire summer to perfect winged eyeliner. Like, you just need to be patient and practice more. Makeup is just so pretty to look at. Like, who doesn't want to stare at these colors? Look how beautiful they are. And even then, sometimes it's just fun to dip your fingers in this. Like, look at that. And then look at this sparkle. Beautiful. Sometimes I don't even do my makeup, I just stare at these beautiful colors. Makeup can be worn in any situation.
You can wear it at a party, a day at home, and walking your dog.
If you're like me and love compliments, then trust me, you will get so many compliments when you do makeup, whether it be glam makeup or FX makeup.
I love your makeup!
Thank you! Makeup can really boost your self-confidence. Like, I do makeup for myself. I don't do it for other people. I don't need the approval of others to love how I look. Makeup is just one of those things where you just have fun, and if you like the look at the end, you feel so great about yourself. You don't need anyone to tell you that you look good, because you know you look good, because makeup is for everyone. So I hope this video kind of inspires you to collect makeup, or at least try it out. You could start super small by getting a small little palette, one brush. Literally anyone can start anywhere. Just as long as you practice and enjoy what you do, everyone can do makeup.